Welcome to The Coin, Black History on the Other Side podcast, hosted by Brittany Wilkins. This podcast is brought to you by Historians Connect. Historians Connect is a nonprofit organization with a mission to bridge the gap between African American history and culture by preserving the legacies of African Americans, debunking myths, defining Black excellence, while rewriting the narrative of African American history. If you tuned into the show to learn a new and different perspective on Black history, you're in the right place. This is not America's founding fathers' history of slavery and oppression. We're changing the culture by changing the narrative, educating listeners on various aspects of Black history spanning from ancient African history to current day events affecting communities around the world. Empowerment through cultural education. This is The Coin, Black History on the Other Side.
I'm Brittany Wilkins, and this is Blackwash History, where we reclaim the untold stories and bring to light the lesser-known aspects of Black history that has shaped our world. Black history is not confined just to one nation. It's a global phenomenon that threads through every corner of the world, from the intellectual centers of Timbuktu to the revolutionary spirit of Haiti, from the Harlem Renaissance to the Windrush generation. The story of Black people has always been a story of resilience, creativity, and contributions that transcends across borders. Each region adds its own verse to the book, to this shared narrative of triumph over adversity and the ongoing pursuit of equality. This October, as we celebrate Black History Month in the United Kingdom, we honor the pioneers, thinkers, and changemakers who shaped British society and continue to redefine what it means to stand firm in power and pride. Today, I want us to journey back to Notting Hill, where a small Caribbean restaurant became the front line of Britain's civil rights struggle. So why did it become the front line? The Mangrove restaurant wasn't just a place to eat. It was a home, a meeting ground for activists, artists, and dreamers from across the Caribbean diaspora. The Mangrove was founded by Frank Crichlow, a Trinidadian entrepreneur. The restaurant became the heartbeat for Black Londoners, a place where people could share food, culture, and conversation without judgment. But with visibility came hostility. Between January of 1969 and July 1970, police raided this restaurant 12 times, searching for drugs they never found. The message was clear, though. Black spaces were not meant to thrive. It just became this constant cycle of this injustice. It led to many being fed up and determined to be heard. So community leaders organized a protest on August 9th, 1970. This was led by Altheia Jones, Darcus Howe, and Barbara Beese. Hundreds marched through Notting Hill demanding an end to police harassment. As always, protests, they start off as peaceful demonstrations, but this one soon turned chaotic when police clashed with protesters. 19 people were arrested. 9 of them would stand trial, not for rioting, but for daring to resist. They called themselves the Mangrove 9. The trial that followed lasted about 55 days, and what this did was it exposed the deep racial bias woven into British justice systems. Sounds similar to American systems. Representing themselves, activists like Howe and Jones turned the courtroom into a stage and a platform for truth. They cross-examined officers, challenging corruption, and demanded accountability from the very system that sought to what? The system always seeks to silence us. The system sought to silence them. Their courage forced Britain to look at themselves in the mirror. For the first time, a judicial body recognized evidence of racial prejudice within the Metropolitan Police. In the end, all 9 were acquitted of the most serious charges, and their victory echoed far beyond the courtroom. The Mangrove 9 didn't just fight for themselves. They fought for generations. Their stand helped ignite a movement that reshaped Britain's conversation around race, justice, and belonging. As the National Archive notes, the Mangrove 9 didn't just change a verdict, they changed a nation. This story reminds us that resistance is not necessarily rebellion. It's restoration, a reclaiming of space, dignity, and voice in a world that tries to erase them. So when we tell these stories, it's not only for us to just remember the struggle, but to reclaim the legacy and to honor those for their bravery and courage to take that stand. So as you listen to this today, ask yourself, where are the mangroves of our generation? The spaces that give us voice, unity, and strength in the face of injustice. Because history doesn't just repeat, it always invites us to respond. What are we responding to now in the political and economic climate of this generation? Until next time, keep searching for the truth that was never meant to be forgotten.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Coin Black History on the Other Side podcast. Learn, explore, and create history with us. Visit us on the web at www.historiansconnect.org. Remember, a people without knowledge of their history is like a tree without roots. Stay connected to your roots.